this is a professional environment. Hey! Stop it!
Another day about the Waffle House shit got hella poppin'. One lady started talking that shit like she really wanted problems. She said that the workers were working too slow. She needed the food cause she had to go. She got super angry and started to shout. So Wendy gave her a 3-piece on the house. Yeah. Go Wendy, I get why they mad, man. They just found out for Christmas all you be serving is both of them hands, yeah. Wendy, she ain't gonna back down. Her homie just pulled a pan out. So your little plans ain't gon' pan out. John Cena with the smackdown. Why you think they got this type of application? And the store should get launched like an application. If you're not with the shits like your name is Wendy, shit, you're not really a fit, go apply it Wendy. Run up on Wendy, boy, you better just surrender. Featherweight contender, whipping up them chicken tenders. Mama lit the way she kept it cool with the aggressors. Even Iron Man is trying to bring her onto the Avenger, yeah.
I'll admit it. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbor. I'm gonna haul him up by a chain. I will eat your ass. I'll do it. You think I like sizing up my neighbor? Gonna chop his ass up. My children are going hungry. I will eat your ass. Oh, eat your ass. I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. Eat your ass. My superpower is being honest, and I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. Eat your ass. I've extrapolated this out, and I will eat your ass.
I learned a lot, and I learned that I learned a lot. Anyway, Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I learned so much. I learned so much. I learned black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What I have to do is I have to continue talking about the things. Come on, man. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw. I learned that I got hairy legs that turned blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. So I learned about kids jumping on my lap. I love kids jumping on my lap. Oh, I'm in trouble. What are we, nuts? Dead. You know, come on, man. Give me a little break here. Get a life. Taking cocaine or not? What do you think? Huh? Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Come on, man. Well, Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. I can hardly wait to meet with that guy who is the stable genius. Come on, man. I am very willing to let the public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Come on, man. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids. Come on, man. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record. I know a lot of weed smokers. Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test?
And strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
about a motherfucking mukbang? We got a beef taco. Santa Fe, right?
Wake up. Wake up. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's an e-girl in military uniform. It's propaganda. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
It's just a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hassan Piker. I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring. No, in real life.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Whose Sailor Moon shirt? Why, mine, of course. It's a little tight.
Oh, of course you watch Progression. You know skill, dumb YouTube commenter, idiot.
I'm taking all your spell zones. Every
Take them. I don't need them.
Go.
End of main, dumbass.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, nice deck.
Spent all match complaining and had the rock
deck
in
is
hand.
bullshit.
Completely
It's bad.
saw through
It's
that
a bad
bluff,
deck,
by the
but
way.
it's still
Did
bullshit.
Hillary teach you
Skill
that one,
issue.
you liar?
Open wide, kids, because I'm going to grape you in the mouth.
He's going to what them in the mouth?
He's gonna grape him.
Well, if it's a level beyond Super Saiyan, then
he must be a super duper Saiyan.
if he's a Super Duper Saiyan, then I shall find a way to become a Super D-Duper Saiyan.
You've done well so far, but up until now, I've only been using a mere 5% of my power. Now let's see how well you fare against my Biden blast. Yeah.
Is asking for it. Dopes is trying to give it to him.
Porn. Do you have that big a problem
I'm
with
not
porn?
making fun of.
When's the last time?
Slow down.
When's the last time you saw porn?
Oh, you busted me. Actually, I made a humiliation porn. That's why I watch you on CNN.
No, but
Why are you gay?
Bud Light suck mouth. Hey, babe, give me a beer.
Here you go, honey.
Thank you. Hey, babe, one more beer, right? Hey, one more Bud Light, please. Hey, babe, one more Bud Light, okay? Sure thing. Thank you.
Go, mommy, go. Again.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck your gay ass fairy faggot accent. Fuck them cheap ass cigars.
Listen, that's my friend. That's my friend. Hey! Hey!
Yo, can you toss me a beer?
Yeah, I got you, bro. Here's a cold one, bro.
He like, yo, how? Look at him. Trying to make it make sense. Bro. He like, how, bro?
1111.
Access denied.
1112.
Access denied.
1113.
Access denied.
1114.
Access denied.
This door is a bit.
What's up, everybody? Well, oh man, I should be very careful about doing my dabs right before I start the stream. But I'm alive. I am well. I am here. How is everybody? Yeah, dude, Boondocks is fucking awesome. Bro, Boondocks is amazing. Man, Boondocks called out so much shit. And it was like, I mean, if you think about it, like the shit that we see people doing today, Boondocks would never get away with half their fucking garbage, because like it wasn't just calling out like racism, shit like that. Okay, like Boondocks was speaking to a lot of truth that was going on, but it also like criticized the problems within the Black community. And you will just never see that today. In fact, it wasn't just Boondocks. Look at comics like Static, okay, from the original, not the fucking reboot, okay, but the original Static run. There was a lot of messages from those authors to the Black community, right? About like how you need to be better, how you need to not hold yourselves down and shit like that. Yeah, the R. Kelly episode of Boondocks is fucking great. Oh man. So, dude, yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, you will not get shit like that today because instead they don't care about trying to, like, you know, point to people. Yeah, the MLK episode, bro. The MLK episode. I should have put that clip in. Oh, that where he's like just like shouting at those people. That was fucking great. But no, it's true though. It is. Nowadays, it's like you can't be critical of anyone within the Black community without being called a racist. And if you're Black and you're doing it, you're called a fucking Uncle Tom. So it's like, man, there's no want or desire to grow at all. It's just fucked, man. It's really fucked. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about tonight. Really, we're going to be talking about this whole thing that's going on between Tucker Carlson, Don Lemon. And by the way, guys, I've been waiting to use this fucking clip.
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone.
Do what?
Because I fucking called it.
Yeah, I fucking called it. I said Crowder was being fucking dishonest in that entire Daily Wire shit. Okay? And I was like, dude, he has not helped anybody grow. He only cares about himself and his own fucking platform. Okay? And how it makes him fucking look. He does not care about building up anyone else. And if you work for him and you leave him, he treats you like hot fucking garbage. Well, surprise, surprise. Another person's left louder with Crowder, fucking Dave Landau. And this dude would like host the show when Crowder was busy, shit like that. And he's coming out and it's like, dude, the shit that he is accusing Crowder of is substantially worse than anything in that fucking Daily Wire contract. Like overwhelmingly fucking worse. Okay? Including knowing this guy's a stand-up comedian and refusing to let him travel on weekends to do comedy shows, which is really fucked because Louder with Crowder doesn't actually air on the fucking weekends. He was really just abusing this dude. He's completely mistreating his staff. And I'm like, man, I feel so fucking vindicated. I feel so fucking vindicated. Because when I was saying that shit, I had like the Crowder fucking fangirls everywhere. Oh, simping for Daily Wire, oh, fuck you. I'm like, God damn, you suck. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You don't care about this shit. You're going for whoever's more popular. Well, unfortunately, Crowder's a bit of an egomaniac and a massive fucking dick. And he treats people like garbage. So, yeah, guess what he did? He acted like a massive egotistical prick. He treated his staff like garbage. And this dude, like, he's on this Michael Malice show, giving this, like, hour-long fucking interview, you know, and the overwhelming majority of it is all about the way Crowder treats people. And it's like, fuck, man. I know that, like, at work, if you show up late, you can face penalties. Like, in my job, I'm expected to show up early to work, right? I'm expected to show up early to work. But, you know, if I'm going to be late, I can, you know, send a text or something. It's not that big of a deal, right? Especially if it's like within 5 minutes. Most of the time, you're not going to get too much of somebody screaming in your fucking ear or anything. But apparently Crowder put in this guy's contract, and only in his contract, that if he was 5 minutes late, he would not be paid and he would be sent home. And I'm like, bro, like, what the actual fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? We'll get into more of it later. But look, I will say this about the whole Tucker and Don Lemon thing. I don't see anybody talking about what a fucking loss it is for Don Lemon or saying that they're excited to see what he does next or any of that shit. Okay? I see it all over the place for fucking Tucker Carlson. And it's weird to me. Let me take this off the screen for a little bit because let me give more of an intro thingy. That'd be smarter. But you know, when it comes to the whole thing with Tucker Carlson, I keep seeing. Obviously we have haters. Obviously, we're not going to deny haters exist. Okay, there are haters of Don Lemon. I am probably one of them. there are haters of Tucker Carlson, and those guys can eat a bag of dicks. But at the exact same time, there are definitely people celebrating the fact that Tucker Carlson, like, I think we can just say he's been fired. There's a whole bunch of rumors. There's a whole bunch of reports going out there. And one of the most disgusting things to me is there's this sexual harassment complaint against him. And it comes out of fucking nowhere. It's like out of the fucking blue. And I'm not going to fucking budge on it or buy it. Apparently when Tucker leaves, I guess one of his producers said, no, fuck it, I'm leaving with him. So clearly he's got people loyal to him, which is good to see. Because again, if somebody's willing to follow you into the unknown, okay, that to me says that they believe you're a good leader and that you're going to look out for them. So if you can inspire that loyalty within somebody, typically it's a good sign to me of your character. And I can respect that because in the industry I'm in, there's plenty of turnover. There are plenty of people who will leave and bring their entire teams with them to the new place. And like, I've had people follow me when I've left places to go to a new company and work there instead. Like to be able to do that, to be able to inspire someone to follow you, that's always going to be a good sign. But I don't respect the whole sexual harassment claim. Like if it's true, fine. Let's actually see it play out. Like fucking sue the guy. I just don't buy it because it seems to be put out as more of like a deflection from him leaving the network. But there's also the rumor that it's like the head honcho of Fox, the Rupert Murdoch guy, who's a prick. I don't fucking care. And there are also rumors that he decided to leave because they were going to censor him on certain stories, and they drew a line in the sand, and that's what caused it. Other stories about how it was January 6th and they were upset about the coverage there. I personally don't fucking care. Okay. I personally do not care. For whatever reason, they chose to remove him. And it was an idiotic idea. Okay. It was insanely stupid because Tucker Carlson for 2 years straight, even up until right now, when they announced that they were firing him, has been the top cable show in his time slot, period, bar none. In fact, if you take all the other news channels and combine them together, they still don't get the viewership he was getting. So, like, people like the guy, and when you remove him like that, you know, whatever reason you want to claim, you're going to cause people to just say, fuck it, I'm out, fuck it, I'm out, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And I actually, let me check. What was the Fox News Corp? Is that it? Fucking hell. What is their stock price? Oh, shit. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, so I'll pull up the 1 month because obviously it dips down and then it picks back up a little bit, but it's down 2.94%, which is, well, 2.94% for the past month, 2.91% for today, which, guys, it might not sound like big numbers, but man, that's a lot of money in terms of their market value. That's like a lot of fucking money that they're losing off the top. And this just broke. Tucker Carlson, I don't think, has put out any statement, although I haven't looked. So I saw Don Lemon put up a statement, but nobody cares about the guy. But when more people start to figure out what happened here, the Fox stock is going to keep tanking down. I don't think it's a Bud Light situation, although it might be. It might be. I've seen the memes where people are like, Fox News is the new Bud Light. And I'm like, maybe. I don't know. But they're going to lose some value. However, it's not like you're going to just fire the guy, cancel his show, whatever, and he disappears. If he actually does disappear, that's because he chose to. If he doesn't disappear, again, the dude's worth literally fucking millions and has literal fucking millions. And to my understanding, it is the fucking bastard of fucking millionaires. So, like, what do you think is going to happen? He's insanely filthy rich, and he has a massive following behind him. What do you think he's going to do? Like, I thought that was just like fucking hilarious. If anything, working at Fox News in a way is sort of a filter, okay? Because there was a lot of like contention, to my understanding, with the stories he was covering. They wanted him to stop. They wanted him to stop talking about January 6th. They did. They did not like it that he pulled out all those video footages and aired them on his show. They didn't like that. They were more than like everybody at like Rupert Murdoch, like the head big executives of Fox News and everything. Bro, they live in New York, okay? Sure, they're Republicans. Sure, they're conservatives, kind of. But man, they ate the fucking core audience, okay? They ate the main base. They sort of passively agree that all the fucking Trump supporters are like racist bigots and shit like that. So it's like, what were you thinking? But Tucker Carlson was speaking to like a wider group, okay? And it was a lot of the fucking anti-war stuff, calling out the shit that's going on in Ukraine, the fact that there are actual biolabs in Ukraine, the fact that the leaks show that we were lying, like the U.S. government was lying. Again, it's actually something we've done many times in the past to several Middle Eastern countries. And now you're seeing it on like another setting in Europe. Things are getting really bad. Like the numbers there are insane. Like people talk about like, oh, look, Russia's losing. Bro, Russians are killing Ukrainians almost 10-1. Okay, like this is like the South Park, kind of, but no, this is like the Futurama episode, right? With Zap Brannigan, and he's talking about how he defeated this alien, how he defeated the robots or something, and he goes like, well, they had a kill limit. So what I did was I fed them wave after wave of my men. And it's like, bro, in a way, it kind of feels like what we're doing. Oh, man. The Zap Brannigan approach. They have a kill limit. All you have to do is exceed it. Oh, God. Oh, fucking God. Junebug, thank you for the super chat, man. Hi, Crow. Hey, Junebug. I hope you're doing okay. Wait, hold on. I just realized the brand of sacrifice. Fucking crazy. Oh, dude, you had the best profile image. I fucking love Berserk. Okay, so anyways, it takes you a while to notice things. You probably had that for like fucking months, and I've just like never spotted it because I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, Operation Zap Brannigan. Oh my god. Hold on. I'm probably gonna get like fucking heated, but I have to show it to you. Trauma operation. I can't find the specific clip. It would take me too long to actually play through all of this. God damn, that's disappointing. Because I really want you guys to hear the fucking line. It's great. Okay, there we go. There, I found the clip. I think. Okay, this might work because it's not the actual animation. It's just the fucking quote. so I might be okay.
A horde of rampaging somethings in the something system. The Killbots? A trifle. It was simply a matter of outsmarting them.
Okay, so again, it's like this feels like what we're doing right now. This feels like what we're doing right now. It's Zap Brannigan's. It's Zap Brannigan is plotting the entire thing.
Wow, I never would have thought of that. You see, Killbots have a preset kill limit. Knowing their weakness, I sent wave after wave of my own men at them until they reached their limit and shut down. Kiff.
See, they have a preset kill limit. All you have to do is feed them wave after wave of your own men. In this case, we're just feeding them Ukrainians. Eventually, the Russians will tire out, and by then, the U.S. will have already planned out operations, have men on the ground, have units on the ground, be ready to fucking go. Until then, we just need to keep feeding them Ukrainians. Slow them down a bit. Oh, God. Oh, fucking God. What's up, Gigi?
Hey, Crow. How you doing?
Oh, talking politics.
Yeah, I could see Zap Brannigan, the master of politics.
Bro, you remember this fucking clip, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, so, like, you had all those leaks come out. And it's like, we know that the U.S. is doing what they've done in literally every other country that they've been engaged in fucking conflict with. We're going in there under false fucking pretenses. We're instigating shit because we want the fucking conflict. I know, because I like saw this like it's like a fucking meme, right? And it's like Russia, NATO, and it's the fucking kid going like, "I'm not touching you," while holding his hands directly in front of your face. I'm like, dude, you can't like sit there and simultaneously argue that, because you can't argue that there's no reason for them to invade. Like, I don't agree with the invasion. I don't like war. I want people, like, that's the thing. I don't like war. My issue right now is people keep pushing for more war and more conflict. And we're like, hey, maybe we should come to some sort of peaceful agreement, okay, to stop the fucking conflict, to save lives. They're like, well, why should Ukraine have to negotiate? They were the ones who were, and like, it's not the fucking point. You either want people dead or you don't. Like, dude, bad people fucking exist. Look, even when we said we're gonna go to fucking Russia and shut them down, you do realize you're gonna be killing their people too.
I mean, none of these people actually had to live a hard life, so.
I mean, they treat it like it's a fucking video game. I'm not kidding. They have no ability to see other human beings as people. If they don't like you, if they don't agree with you, you're fucking worth less than fucking dirt. And they deny it, and they project that hatred onto others. But my fucking God, they do not fucking care. They want to see their enemies die and suffer. It gets them fucking off. And I'm like, dude, this is so bad. Because in Ukraine, I complain about this with the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Okay? Yes, Israel is bad. Israel is doing horrific fucking things to those people. They're keeping them in fucking abject poverty. But at the exact same time, Hamas takes all of the resources that are supposed to be for the refugees, keeps it for themselves. They live well, they eat well, and they just convince their people to attack, or if they dare speak up, they publicly beat them so nobody gets the idea to do that again.
It's very Hitlerian. I'll just say that.
Well, yeah, then you go into fucking Ukraine and you have the Azov Battalion, okay? Literal fucking Nazis, man. Dude, in Europe, this is the thing. In Europe, bro, like, that's where the Nazis originated. Was in Europe, was in Germany, okay? And we didn't execute all of them, you idiots. So yes, the ideology spread to certain areas because in those areas, they were white. They were treated well by the Nazis. So they fucking love them, and they don't care about any of the horrific things that were done. Because they don't have any compassion at all either. They don't give a shit what Hitler did. Hitler made their lives good, so they'll fucking praise his ass, even though he did horrific things. Horrific, evil, terrible, maddening, bad things.
I mean, you can thank Operation Paperclip and the CIA for keeping around some of the Nazi party members.
Oh, that too. Like, we employed, like, top Nazi scientists and shit like that.
Not only that, we employed Nazi spies in the CIA for the Cold War.
Yeah, look, fucking Russia and everything.
I mean, it's coming back full circle to bite us in the ass.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is just to say that the Azov Battalion, though, they're hardcore fucking Nazis, and they know that the people in Ukraine aren't all Nazis, so they're more than happy to fucking kill them if they don't agree and bow down and convert. And to the Ukrainians who are in conflict zones, just say, hey, we're going to flee to fucking Russia, because again, people in that area, some of them speak Russian as their like first fucking language, so they're more comfortable going over to that side. You might want to say I'm fucking lying. I don't give a shit. Okay, it is true. Like, that area it's a mixed region, and so when you put them between like the Azov Battalion, who are literal fucking Nazis, who are stripping people down, tying them to fucking flagpoles, and leaving them to be bombarded in public, they'll sit there and they'll run to the fucking Russians because they're terrified of those fucking Nazis. What about when people just try to flee? The Ukrainian army or the Azov Battalion, I don't know which one you want to fucking call it at this point, open fired on the people running. Open fired on the people trying to flee the country. You have people over here, they're all about like trans rights. It's like in Ukraine, you do realize that they're like hardcore more base than I am.
Well, I mean, the Azov Battalion is pulling a playbook out of Stalin with that, Order 226, not a step back.
Yeah. I know. They're fighting through fucking fear and intimidation against their own people. Because here's the thing, their idea, if I had to guess, because I love studying history and reading about conflict and things like that, because it's interesting, right? How the human mind works, how people act in those situations.
How they rationalize the war crimes.
Exactly. But I think about it like this. In their minds, they finally have power. We've just heavily fucking armed them. We gave them resources to build their own fucking army. And they're in their homeland. So whatever happens, in their eyes, the United States will never allow Russia to win and invade their fucking land. But the United States isn't going to stop them from ruling that fucking land the way they want it to be fucking ruled.
I'm just going to say this. Like, once they started running out of MiG-29s, the U.S. was making deals with other countries to have them sell their F-16s to Ukraine.
Oh my God, Bell, this is terrible. Bell, this is terrible. So, Crow, what you're saying is that we commit mass genocide of everyone on Earth and we will have world peace.
Well, yeah, the world would be at peace at once.
Well, look, no, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
I'm just saying, George Carlin had a point.
Look, as long as
the Earth is fine, we are fucked.
Yeah, look, as long as human beings exist, conflict is going to exist. And conflict exists in many different ways, shapes, and forms, and it occurs for many reasons. You live in different parts of the world. Maybe neither of you are necessarily violent, okay? But what happens when there's a misunderstanding and there's fear? Somebody eventually gets the idea that they need to be the one to attack first.
Yeah.
It's the fight or flight response. And you can deny it all you want. It's inherent to human beings. It's inherent to many other animals. At the end of the day, you can't deny humans are a beast, okay? in a way, yes, we are animals. We do like fall into the mammal category or whatever you want to fucking call it. Are we more advanced? Oh, dude, absolutely. Absolutely. We're capable of so many more things that, I mean, that's what makes me believe that there must be a higher power behind that. Like that intelligence is unique. But that inner wiring of your brain is never going to fucking go away. The fight or flight response is always going to be there. And look, maybe you accidentally attacked, right? You were fearful, you struck, and you immediately try to apologize. Well, you just attacked somebody. Or they think they're just going to forgive you? It could have been a misunderstanding. It could have been an accident. It doesn't matter. The conflict is there now. Maybe you want to say, like, we should all talk it out, kumbaya. Okay, sure. When has that ever fucking worked? Okay, like on like a massive fucking scale. It doesn't. Like, there's going to be conflict. You need to know how to overcome that, and you need to know how to defend yourself too. But I'm like, there's this idea that we're all just going to come together and be fucking like peaceful kumbaya and everything. And I'm like, look at what's going on with the Ukrainian people. They are being literally fucking massacred. And we're lying to them, acting as if we actually give a shit about them. No, the US government doesn't fucking care about these people at all, other than cannon fodder. They just want to strip the land of the resources. They want to build their fucking pipeline. Dude, the US, I mean, after denying it, after claiming Russia did it, after claiming it was a war crime, well, the US got busted. We were the ones who blew it. Those leaks are terrible. Those leaks are awful. We're doing awful fucking things again and again and again and again. And we have people that are much more concerned with themselves and their own standing that they don't want to fucking call it out. They do this rah bullshit. And it's like, man, when I was younger, maybe. But dude, at 32, after seeing what happened with Iraq, it's like it's literally the same shit over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, this time it's a bit different because we're dealing with a nuclear power.
Oh, God, yeah, no, I'm sorry. This time we actually stepped it up. See, originally it was fucking Vietnam, okay? And look, we got our asses handed to us by fucking rice farmers. Rice farmers. Then it's fucking Afghanistan. And we're getting our asses kicked by fucking goat farmers. And then it's Iraq. And that's Afghanistan again. And that's Iraq again. And then it's Afghanistan again. Then it's Libya. But you're right. None of them were nuclear powers. Now we're doing it. Now we're all fucking in. And I do not see that ending well for anyone. Anyone at all. Because at the end of the day, seriously, at the end of the day, there's no stopping what's going to happen now. The United States went to Libya, destroyed a nation, reintroduced slavery into a country, all because the petrodollar was slightly threatened. I say slightly because this was one nation. That was it. Maybe you were worried more would do it. But because that one nation threatened the petrodollar, we destroyed an entire country. Well, what are we supposed to do now that Russia and China, and what is it, India, and all of these other areas out there that really just do not like the United States are sitting there going like, well, hey, what if we all teamed up together against them? If we pull back, oh, then we're weak. If we keep pushing, then they're justified. That's what happens. See, one day we ought to grow up and realize the United States, in terms of like the military industrial complex, is inherently fucking evil. It is. It wants war. It wants conflict. It wants to strip the land of resources, and it doesn't care how many people you have to bleed dry to get it. They don't care. It's not their hands that are getting dirty, not necessarily. They're getting other people to do the killings for them. They're reaping all the profit.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we've had a satellite state fight a war against a nuclear power.
Yeah. Slimy Catmaker, thank you for the super chat. Sorry it took me a while to read it. What political party are you a part of? I mean, at this point, I guess Republican, but man, and that's only so I can do the primaries. Like, I really, dude, most Republicans suck.
I'm in the party of leave me the fuck alone and don't drag my ass into a war.
Yeah, well, look at what happened, dude. We got dragged into a fucking war again. Oh, by the way, women, love you, absolutely fucking love you, and I love the fact that you can now be drafted. Yeah, fucking equality.
Well, I mean, this is the first time women haven't been.
Equality sucks, doesn't it? Oh, go to war, bitch. Go to fucking war. I'm too old. I got diabetes. I'm not fit to serve. But you are. I feel nothing. I feel nothing for you. Nothing at all. Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, Crow, most of them aren't fit to serve a Starbucks coffee.
Oh, they'll whip their asses into shape. They'll whip their asses into shape. Dude, because here's the thing.
Don't you mean out of shape to dodge the draft?
No. I mean, like, they will be going because we need bodies. Because I'm telling you, it's a nuclear fucking power. It's going to be World War III. There's no getting around this. NATO is causing the Third World War with the help of the United States, urging everything along. Zelensky is not a fucking leader. What's going on in Ukraine is fucking awful. And yes, I do understand that what Russia's doing is bad. Oh yeah, no shit. Okay? But diplomacy would be like welcome. We should be trying to figure out a way of resolving this without the bloodshed, not encouraging it and going, the Russians deserve it. Like, dude.
I mean, I just want to say this for future historians. If you find a copy of this stream about 50 or 70 years after the Earth's been nuked, you could blame the pedophiles at the UN for all that shit.
Oh, UN's fucking corrupt and everything. But look, the United Nations sucks. Their ass. We should just pull out. When it comes to, like, this conflict specifically, yeah, I get it. Russia keeps invading. Russia keeps pushing. Historically, you know what's fucking hilarious, right? They do the historically, these lands belong to these people and shit. Well, guess what, bitch? Guess who Ukraine used to belong to? The Russians. They're just taking back their homeland. Is that a stupid fucking idea? Yeah, that's why I always said the idea of claiming natural ancestry to a region and giving you all rights over that region forever, I've said from the beginning, is fucking stupid. People get conquered. People lose their territories. Certain people living in an area will want to go join another country. Bro, there's nothing you can do about that. It happens. Move the fuck on. Russia doesn't want to move the fuck on.
Crow, I got a historical question for you.
What's up?
Do you think we should relabel Rasputin as a Machiavellian schemer since he fucked up the First World War for the Russians?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I love how they made him the villain in that fucking what was it? Anastasia? Yeah. Bro, Rasputin was fucking awesome.
Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian
song.
queen.
Yes. Okay, but like, honestly though, I look at it and I go, yes, Russia is the aggressor, but come on, this is like literally we're pointing guns at their head and saying, we're not going to shoot you, don't worry about it. We knew what we were doing, and yes, we had biolabs in Ukraine. Why the fuck did we have biolabs in Ukraine? Right? You can sit there and go like, no, there was nothing violent. There was nothing bad there. There's nothing that was going to, like, infect a whole bunch of people. They were just biolabs in Ukraine. Why the fuck would Russia believe that? I'm being dead serious, okay? I'm being dead fucking serious because you seem to go like, oh, they're the most evil of evil people in the entire fucking evil world. Okay, so clearly they don't trust us and they don't like us, okay? And right? That'll be the thing, okay? So how would they view it if we have biolabs on their border?
How about the one in China?
Well, we're
The one we
yeah,
indirectly funded.
yeah. Hold on, I want to like completely derail with that because like I absolutely will. But no, I'm being dead serious. If okay, let me give you guys like just a complete bullshit hypothetical. Okay, it's a bullshit hypothetical. Okay, but what would happen if Iran, Iran, who is opposed to the United States, wants to wipe Israel off the map, all that good stuff. So Iran makes an agreement with Mexico, okay? And in that agreement, Iran is going to have a bunch of biolabs right on the border with the United States. Do you think the United States would sit there and go, oh, we're going to allow that? They're not threatening us. They didn't say that they're going to do anything yet. No, we would go in and we would immediately destabilize all of Mexico. we would team up with the cartels.
Well, we almost had that back in the 80s, Crow. I mean, the communist Sandinistas and Iran-Contra.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
we almost had that.
I completely forgot. I was saying bullshit hypothetical and it did almost happen. But no, I'm being dead serious, though. If any enemy of the United States or somebody that is perceived to be an enemy of the United States was building biolabs on our fucking border, it doesn't matter what you want to claim is going on in those labs. We would view it as an obvious and apparent threat. And we would shut it down or we would work to destabilize the entire... Bro, the stuff the United States would do to defend itself, man, don't get me wrong. Like, holy shit. We nuked Japan twice to defend us. Like, bro, you tell me like we wouldn't just like, I don't know, completely fuck up an entire nation to shut down a few biolabs we're thinking are kind of bad? Because you have to understand, it's not just turning off the labs. It's ensuring nobody ever gets the idea to pull something that's stupid again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time we've destabilized either a Central or South American democracy.
Right? Like you know,
Banana Republic.
It's crazy to me because the left used to be the one that was calling out the abuses of the U.S. government, the U.S. federal government, and the horrific crimes that we've committed. And I say we because at the end of the day, yes, we're all U.S. citizens. So you have to like acknowledge that there is wealth, there is privilege. The poorest of us still have better circumstances than most middle-class people in other nations. That's nuts. We have wealth, we have privilege. We absolutely do by being United States citizens. Even if you want to deny it, even if you want to say, oh no, it's not true, only the whites have the privilege or whatever. Bro, you don't fucking comprehend how the world works. It's not just your own fucking backyard, you fucking idiots. So, again, you need to acknowledge that the reason why you live the way that you do, the reason why there are things out there for you the way that there are, is because of many of the atrocious acts the United States government has committed. So, yes, it is us. It's all of us. We're all tainted.
That's why we're called the U.S.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, buddy.
Not the UN.
We're all tainted, and nobody gets to sit there and act better than another. We're all guilty of it. So, anyways, we sit there and we know how the United States government would react in any of these circumstances. And at the exact same time, we have people over here that refuse to acknowledge any reason why Russia would feel threatened by us. Or NATO. Or urging more countries on their border to join NATO. NATO, which is committed to the, I believe NATO formed specifically to stop the rise of the Soviet Union.
It was basically to protect West Germany.
Yeah, Soviet Union. So then we never stopped the alliance. We kept NATO going even after the fall of Russia or the Soviet Union, or whatever the fuck you want to say. And we're surprised that Russia views us as a threat. Look, yeah, Putin's an evil guy. Putin is like KGB evil fucking guy. Okay? If I had to guess, Putin probably like has murdered children for fun. He seems like the guy who might do that. However, at the exact same time, he clearly wants Russia to be powerful and succeed, so his people like him. So they'll support him because he's making their lives good. So when they feel threatened by us, and they have every right to feel threatened by us, just like Ukraine has every right to feel threatened by them, you're going to develop some form of conflict. So Russia wants to invade Ukraine and create a buffer territory between them and the rest of NATO. And they want their old homeland back. And this is like some grand triumph for this fucking guy.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same stipulation for why, what was it? Not Putin, but Stalin wanted Berlin all to himself. It's because traditionally, throughout the years, Poland was a gateway to invading Russia. Napoleon used it. Hitler used it. Hundreds of years ago, other warlords used it. It's always been like the go-to landmass to get into Russia to conquer it. And it's practically failed every time because of the winter. But
well, yeah, that is
given
true.
the invention of air power, we don't have to worry about the land.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you cannot sit there and just detach yourself from reality on this one. Conflict exists because two people, good, bad, neutral, doesn't matter, are not seeing eye to eye. And when you're talking about nations, it gets brutal, it gets bloody. Diplomacy would have been the right thing to do, but we don't want to be diplomatic. We're sitting there telling everybody that we are the righteous, holy saviors, and they are demons. Bro. There is no good versus evil. Like they're not between human beings. Not really. Not when it's nation versus nation.
You want to know
not unless it's literally Hitler again, because then you're right. Are you going to say that he's Hitler? Has he built up concentration camps? Is he putting Ukrainians into gas chambers? Is that what he's doing?
China.
No, it's not, because you have the Nazis on the other side. Oh my God.
And they have biolabs to make the gas.
And they have biolabs. Wait, look, I know it's not a popular opinion, but we have idiots urging war against a nuclear power. It's like, look, even if you want to say they're the most evil in the entire world, you have to understand they're a nuclear fucking power. You're talking about millions of people dying. Right? Like, can you imagine how bad a nuclear conflict would be between the United States, okay, the UK, like probably all of the United Kingdom is fucking ass garbage. They're not going to do shit. It'll be the United States versus Russia and China and every fucking Middle Eastern country that fucking hates us.
Yeah, I mean,
and to be clear, to be absolutely clear, there will be nuclear weapons, and they will be used. How many do you think we could lose? Do you think we could lose 1/10 of the entire world's population in World War III using nuclear weapons?
I'd say it'd be like about a fifth at the beginning, and it'll go down. It'll go up to half with the after effects. Given
I'm
the
just
strategic
saying.
targets that they're going to plan to hit,
Yeah,
major population centers.
Yeah, well, I mean, put it like this: if there was a nuclear conflict, right, and we're talking about nuclear armed combat between the United States and these other very powerful, very large nations, which may not be individually as strong as the U.S., but together are an actual threat. What would happen if the idea was to destroy the United States economy? Where would you hit to do that? It would be New York. It would be the New York Stock Exchange. You would be wiping out all of New York.
True.
What? How many millions of people live there?
In the city alone, I think it's just wasn't it like 10 million?
I'm just saying, you need to comprehend what's going on here. We're talking about things. We're talking about the amount of human life on the line is something that is incomprehensible to most people. It sounds like a fucking story. It sounds like a fucking tale. It does not sound like reality when you say that the next war, the next world war, could lead to millions of people dying. Not total, not for the entire conflict, but like in a single fucking day.
Yeah. Just in an instant, not like a day, just like in a fucking instant.
So I look at what's going on there and I'm like, it's horrific, it's nasty, it's bad, it's really bad. And there was every opportunity to try to make peace. And look who was stopping it. It was the United States. We were pushing for more conflict. If we actually cared about the human life there, bro, here's the thing that I want people to understand, all right? And I say this as a Palestinian, and I'm sure many Palestinians who have been living in that conflict for so many years would probably vehemently disagree, and I don't really care. At a certain point, it is better to just leave. At a certain point, your lives matter more. You can go build somewhere else. You can go live somewhere else. You can go thrive somewhere else. Human beings are very capable of adapting.
Yeah, sometimes the best thing to do is just to walk away.
Well, I'm put it like this: the Palestinians lived under the Ottoman Empire forever. Okay, and what happened when they got free of it? Oh, something much worse. Look, Ukraine or the Ukrainian people. I'm not entirely certain how much their lives change if they were taken over by Russia. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand, because as much as I think Russia fucking sucks, they do. I joke that they were a fucking turd. Like, I used to make all these like Russia jokes, but just right now we don't have the strength. Excuse me. We have a geriatric as the president. One who sniffs little kids. I'm just saying though, what do we do? Like, what do we actually do? If Russia wants fucking to take over Ukraine, and we don't want them to take over Ukraine, is it because we're worried about the loss of human life? Or is it because we're worried that Russia is growing in power and just gained a buffer to NATO, and NATO wants to destabilize Russia because they want to strip Russia of its natural resources?
I mean, resource wars are always the worst. I mean, it's what leads to greater conflict.
Well, they wanted to build, what was it, the Kiev pipeline? That's what they wanted, like, for fucking ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of a sudden, in this conflict with Russia, the Nord Stream pipeline gets blown up. And it's like, who did that
Wait,
benefit?
wasn't it Nord Stream 2?
Sorry, Nord Stream 2. Nord Stream 2.
Yeah.
Nord Stream 2. But like that pipeline got blown up, and they're like, oh, clearly Russia did. I was like, that hurt them. They didn't blow up their own fucking pipeline. They didn't blow up their own shit. That hurt them. It hurt everybody. It hurt
Russia,
fucking everybody.
I mean, I knew that was bullshit from the beginning because Russia doesn't have the capital to waste for a red flag operation.
Not like that. Not like that.
Especially something that takes years to develop and even more years to put into place.
Right, you know it was fucking America that did it. You know we did it. You know we fucking did it. You know why we fucking did it. Our end game is to establish the Kiev pipeline. We don't need Nord Stream 2.
Yeah, Russia could have just turned it off.
Yeah, Russia could have just turned it off.
Here's the thing. The Nord Stream 2 wasn't even completely finished.
Oh, no. Gigi, you don't understand. Russia blew it up because turning it off would have been far more difficult. Fucking
yeah, it's not like there were a couple of valves they could have shut.
I swear to God, some of the dumbest fucking people involved in this shit. And they're leading some of the most idiotic people.
Yeah, I mean...
You're right, Russia could have just turned it off. Yeah, Russia could have just turned it off.
Here's something else, Crow. Like, if we do get into a nuclear conflict and we start lobbing nukes, you could say goodbye to pretty much every precious metal and even just regular metal being useful for reconstruction. Because this is something I had watched recently, was a documentary about how certain shipwrecks from World War II, before we even had the first nuclear test, how their war graves are being robbed of metal. People are going down, finding like shipwrecks like the Prince of Wales and whatnot, and blasting the hull for the metal.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all that that's happening.
It mainly because after all the nuclear tests and the 2 bombs we dropped on Japan, all the metal on the planet has become contaminated to a certain degree to where it can't be used for like clean rooms or Geiger counters or anything because it's very sensitive electronics. And if you have nuclear radiation on it, either from natural in the atmosphere, from the tests, it's not going to be useful. So good luck having your X-ray machines working properly without background radiation, fucking up the images. Have fun trying to detect whether or not there's actual radiation in an area. We're practically screwed at that point because we haven't developed technology in that realm to clean the metal or at the very least work around that.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because at the end of the day, we know why. Like we know what the problem is. We do, but they'll just they people don't want to accept that we're not the good guys in these conflicts. And there was a time when the left got that and understood it. And they were the ones pushing against the stuff. And it was typically the people on the right that were like, oh no, God bless America and all that other shit. And now it's like completely fucking reversed. It's fucking ass backwards reversed. And because the left tends to be more collectivist, they just go like arm in fucking arm, pushing for like the most insane shit. It's like, what are we gonna do? What do we actually do? The conflict is here, the war is here, the fight is here, and there's no escaping it. What do you do? Like, what do you fucking do? GG.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is popping them in the head.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think that there is anything that can be done at this stage. I think we're where we're gonna be. I think that a lot of people are gonna realize way too late that these were awful ideas and that everybody is culpable in all the bad things that are going to be happening.
Well, you remember that old saying, like, history repeats, and some people say it actually rhymes? Well, I'm starting to see it now because you remember what the first UN was, right? The League of Nations?
Oh, yeah.
And how Woodrow Wilson presented that as an idea to prevent future conflicts. Well, the reason why it failed isn't just because of, like, Hitler going into Czechoslovakia and whatnot, taking territory of the Sudetenlands. It's mainly because the U.S. Wasn't a part of it. And Japan felt like they could also ignore it too and invade China. Well, we created the UN afterwards, and we made sure that we funded it and kept it going. Well, now it's proving to be useless because of nukes.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone thinks that they're just gonna like walk away from this. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's really bad. The conflict here is only going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and there's no way around it.
I mean, the only thing that they're doing is making us walk into a second sunrise. If you know what I mean.
Oh God. Yeah, no, it's bad. It absolutely is. But again, this whole conversation started because we were talking about the shit Tucker Carlson was talking about on his channel. But no, look, Tucker is getting all of this praise and love and support, as well as hate. Like, I want to be clear, as well as hate. And Don Lemon, who also gets fired from CNN, they're just laughing at him. Like, they're celebrating the fact that he got fired. They hate him. And it's like, dude, his own staff. I gotta share this clip. I do, because this is from CNN. This is their morning show. Okay. So after Donald Trump, they were like collapsing. And they're like, okay, we need to pretend we're neutral. So they fired the Brian Stelter guy. And they quote unquote promoted Don Lemon to be on the morning show with a female co-host. And it's like supposed to be less serious. It's supposed to be more chill, like most of those morning shows are. And he's still a fucking prick. He's still an arrogant asshole. He's a douchebag. And he treats these women like they're garbage. And he says things that upsets them. And it's like, he doesn't understand. He didn't get promoted. He got his ass thrown to a morning show. And he's failing at it. But that leads to like one of the best, most funniest of exchanges I think I've ever seen. Where people are just like getting angry and angry and angry. And it's over this Vivek Ramaswamy guy or whatever. I don't know. Like, you probably have no clue what I'm talking about.
I've seen the clip. It kind of reminded me of that other clip from the Boondocks, where it's an episode all about Uncle Ruckus, and he's like, "I get up at 6 a.m. way before other."
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh man.
And I love that character.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to Black Americans, to say that Black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
Black
part
people,
of what
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second.
Okay, so Gigi, did you hear that?
Yeah, he can't keep a thought with people talking in his ear.
That's his producers.
Yeah, it's like, shut it down, shut it down.
Yes, they're probably telling him to shut the fuck up and don't lose your cool. And they're probably telling like they're probably trying to stop what is about to happen here, where Don Lemon just fucks it all up in such a stupid way.
Yeah.
So to say that Black people, say what you said again.
By the way, look at his co-host the entire time. She's hilarious. She's fucking
on rails
done
right now.
She's fucking done with this shit.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not you.
Yeah. So I think the way that worded the sentence may, but he goes like after the Civil War, after they secured their Second Amendment rights. And that's true because the thing is, after the Civil War, they hadn't actually secured many of the rights that that everybody else had, right? They're still heavily discriminated against, and they weren't allowed to possess firearms. Like, dude, especially in the South, it was really bad. And dude, in the South, they were convincing those people that slavery hadn't been abolished. Like, yeah, man, it was really fucked up. And yes, there is a whole history of the NRA when it comes to arming Black Americans against the KKK.
Yeah, wasn't it like the Black Panthers?
I'm sorry, what?
Didn't the NRA also arm like the Black Panthers too?
I don't know necessarily the Black Panthers.
I remember something about that. I don't know if I saw it in a documentary or not.
It wouldn't surprise me because the NRA, if you want to say the NRA just wants to sell guns, okay, then they're not going to prevent Black people from buying guns because they want to sell guns. Like, even if you want to claim that they're evil, like blood death merchants, then that means that they would want to sell guns to everybody. Like, either fucking way, they weren't being racist. They were totally okay arming Black people. Hell, they were just new customers. Fuck. Okay, so I'm not entirely certain about their direct involvement with the Black Panthers, but specifically, when it came to like the 1950s, 1960s, right, in areas where like Jim Crow was in effect, the NRA helped Black Americans actually get firearms training and obtain firearms to defend themselves. Like there's no getting around that one. That actually happened. The NRA actually did that. So I see people and they get like really mad. They get really mad and they get really frustrated and they cannot understand why anyone would say that the NRA did anything good for Black people. It's like, because they did, right? The NRA worked with Robert Williams, who was a civil rights leader. You know, he advocated for, armed self-defense for Black Americans and because of racist violence. And the NRA worked with him and helped Black Americans get firearm training.
Yeah, he also helped not him, but the NRA also helped arm Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam for like their bodyguard services when who was it? Fuck. Not MLK, but Malcolm X.
Oh, when Malcolm X was shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the NRA. Okay, you can't argue that the NRA just wants to sell guns. They don't care about who gets hurt. Then they don't care if Black people get guns. They don't. They want more customers. But you can't argue that, and then also that they also hate Black people, so they don't want them buying guns. Bro, like it always just delves into this idiotic argument of racism that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist for the NRA, at least. They just want to fucking sell. They want more people to own guns. There you go. That's the NRA. That's their end goal. If you limit somebody from owning firearms, it's bad for what they want. So he is wrong here. Like, dude, until minority groups should be the ones that we need to make sure are arming themselves. Otherwise, the majority will just step all over them. You don't fuck with someone who's got a gun. That's rule number one.
Just counting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the civil rights movement happened is because Black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to.
And you know how they got it?
They
got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, down the
NRA did not play a big role.
Absolutely, they trained Black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie.
And see, that's the thing. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. I know that there are like fanciful retellings where people are like, the NRA was founded specifically for the purpose. It's like, I don't think that that's true at all. But the NRA did work with civil rights leaders who were for armed self-defense, because the NRA has always supported armed self-defense. They have no issues with who owns a gun as long as it's not a fucking criminal. And even then, if you're an ex-felon, the NRA has said you should have your Second Amendment rights restored. So I don't know what you want me to say. Like, clearly they don't care. But Don Lemon is like this super liberal fucking woke asshole from New York, and oh, the NRA is evil and they kill babies. They're the worst. Oh, they must also be racist because they like babies being
Planned
killed.
Parenthood kills babies too. Fuck off with that, Lemon.
I'm just saying it's how their brains work. Okay, they can't acknowledge that there was any good done by their opposition at any time or at any point. Because if they do that, they can't dehumanize their opposition the way that they love to do.
Lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact.
It's not historical fact.
The part that I
Just
find
because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today Black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different.
I guess Crow's internet cut out.
Oh, sorry about that.
What happened?
Windows crashed.
Oh.
not the Windows, the window with the videos and everything crashed. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Oh god, I had the link to the tweet still. All right. Okay, I'm at the right point. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, here's where
I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have
the
a different point of view.
Black and white.
You know, what I do like more than anything is you have Don Lemon here, okay, right? Who really at this point should have been fired. His show was atrocious. It had no viewers, and nobody followed him to go watch this morning show. It's been very bad. He doesn't have an audience. But Don Lemon is still able to keep getting fucking work. And he's getting paid millions to be completely fucking worthless. And it's like at the exact same time, he's also going on about how he doesn't have the same rights as white people do. And I'm like,
yeah, he has one
Don
better.
Lemon. Yeah, bro. Don fucking Lemon, man. You're like height of fucking wealth and privilege in New York City. Living it up. Like getting accused of sexually harassing people and still living it up. And it's like at the exact time you're like, Black people don't have the same rights. Fuck off, man. Fuck
if you want
all
a pure
the way
example, if you want a pure example of affirmative action not working, just look at Don Lemon's face right now.
Oh.
People don't have in this country, and that Black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate.
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a Black man,
insulting that
but
you're
me regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I
sitting
think
here,
we should say.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about
I'm,
what it's like to be Black.
Whatever
America.
ethnicity I'm, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the content of the ideas.
Do it. You should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way.
I love the co-host. She's like completely quiet through all of this. Just wants to be done.
Yeah, I agree, Don Lemon. If he wants to do it in an honest and fair way, he shouldn't have done it on CNN.
But again, what he said there is not incorrect. If you want to say like the NRA is the sole reason, that's not true either. Okay. But there were Black people who wanted to arm themselves and they were not allowed to do so because of racist laws, especially in Jim Crow South. They did not want the Black population arming themselves for obvious fucking reasons. But the NRA doesn't give a shit. Like, you can't, I've heard my entire life, okay, especially growing up in San Francisco, that the NRA only cares about selling guns, and they don't care how many people die. They just want to sell more guns and make more money. And it's like, okay, how are you going to tell me that? And now tell me that also they hate the very notion of black people buying their guns. What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? They don't care who dies, right? They don't care who dies. Fuck off. Fuck off. I'm just like it is. I hate the revisionist history that exists with the civil rights movement, all because they cannot acknowledge that their opposition today did something good in the past. Because if they did that, they could not dehumanize them the way they love to fucking do.
Yeah, I mean, the 1619 Project is full of shit to begin with.
Oh, dude, 1619 Project. You see the fucking Cleopatra thing?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, it's great. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to make, like, a fanciful fucking movie or show and you want Black Cleopatra, yeah, whatever. Dude, she was not fucking black, man. It was fucking Egypt. She was Macedonian and Greek. Like, my fucking goodness, man. No, she wasn't black. And that's so stupid to even try and fucking claim. But they do that.
She was practically Italian.
They do that for a fuck you. They do that for a documentary. They do that for a documentary. They do that for a documentary. And they're like, well, who says Cleopatra can't be black? Because it's not true. It's a documentary. She's not a fucking Disney princess. Fucking whores. I swear to God. So, like, I look at it and I'm just like, man, you have records of back then, okay? You have records of back then. There are statues of Cleopatra in Egypt. We know what she looked like. We know where she came from. I'm sorry. Like, what? It's like you're trying to take, you're appropriating somebody else's culture and history and claiming it's a documentary that's factually accurate. That is so fucking disgusting and low.
You know what's kind of funny is that what's his name? Fucking he's that one goofball who used to go by the name of King Flex during his rap career. Then he came onto YouTube and was talking about what was it? Like the Black Truth movement or whatever. And how like Beethoven was black and his real name was Tovin Bey, and how fucking
Tovin Bey? What the fuck? Oh my God.
Yeah, and somehow
actually, I'm going to respond to that. On some level, I understand, okay? Because the way it's been explained to me is black people in the United States do not feel like they have an actual history to look back on proudly, because it all relates back to descending from slaves, and they honestly don't even know what areas of Africa those slaves even came from. So it's like, I understand why they would feel untethered to their history. But the cope is to literally make their history up and try to appropriate and claim it from other people. Like, you brought Nation of Islam, okay? But the Nation of Islam's fucking bullshit. They culture appropriate Arab culture all the fucking time. Do I get to sit there and fucking whine and bitch about it? No. People do that shit. It's disgusting. It's wrong. But this is actual appropriation. This is actually stealing people's history.
Oh wait, I just remember the guy's name. It's Tariq Nasheed. He was the one who made like this documentary where it was like where he's reappropriating shit from history, to where it's like instead of Beethoven, it's Tovin Bey, and then it wasn't Shakespeare, it was a black maid who wrote all the plays and whatnot.
Yeah. Look, you're not doing anyone any favors by just lying and making shit up. Like, that doesn't do anything for anybody. You need like an actual understanding of why things happen, why they occurred. Or otherwise, like, it does repeat itself. It does rhyme. L. Ron Hubbard was a black man. Dude, I always love it when people do those Ryan Gosling is Obama. Like, that shit's fucking great. Thanks, gentlemen, for the stream. Love the road less traveled. Thoughts I can find here. Yeah, dude. Anytime. Absolutely anytime.
Okay, we appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation. Thank you.
The conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
Something you
can
can
we move
add
on now, please?
Thank you.
I love the ending there. Come on, can we move on now, please? Yeah, that's the thing. Don Lemon has absolute contempt for anyone on the right. He cannot stand to talk to them. He hates them. And CNN is desperately trying to be like, a little bit less all the way to the left. Okay. They're always going to be more left wing. They're always going to be more liberal, but they're trying to avoid looking like they have no ability to be unbiased on a subject. And like, that's a morning show. It's supposed to be more chill. He's supposed to just calm the fuck down and like laugh and smile and like try to have like a decent conversation, but he can't do it because he hates that man.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to get rid of Lemonhead because you know how he is. Once he starts, pointing his fingers at someone, he asks them to sniff.
Oh God. Oh God.
Remember that story?
I know. Like, if people forget about that shit, I'm like, I'm never gonna forget about that.
Yeah, he puts his hand down his pants, pulls it back up, holds his finger to the nose of the person next to him, and asks them to sniff.
Okay, let me get his response to being fired. There we go. Looks like Vivek Ramaswamy ended Don Lemon's career. Yeah, so Vivek was the guy in that interview. He's running for president on the Republican ticket. He says a lot of good things. It's just he doesn't have name recognition like anybody else in the race, so he's probably not going to go anywhere. But so far, like every time he's spoken on a subject, he's very fluent in what he's trying to like get across with people. It's not bullshit, and he's very direct about what he means. I don't necessarily know if he's 100% correct on anything, or everything, or anything, whatever. Dude, I'm like buzzed out of my mind. But
I'd vote for him.
Yeah, I'd vote for him 100%. Like, if he got the nomination, I would like proudly vote for him. He seems like a really like honest dude. Like, and I'm sure the left is gonna like fucking hate that anyone calls him honest, but he is. He's and he talks about like this new thing on the left is people not being able to define woke, and he goes, it is true that there are people on the right that just throw it around, but there is natural definition, and he describes it. And it's like he's not doing it in a condescending way either. Like he correctly states how one would describe what woke is from the left. And it's like the guy is taking things very seriously. When you speak to him and when you challenge him on a subject, he is very respectful, but he'll push back. Like just like with Don Lemon. Don Lemon's telling him he has no right to talk about anything involving Black history or people or African Americans or civil rights. He's not allowed to talk about that. It's like Vivek is not some white dude. He is Indian American. So obviously he's probably dealt with discrimination and shit like that. But like immediately Don's like, you don't have a right to talk about this. It's like, man. Can you just imagine if a bunch of white people got together? You're like, you don't have a right to talk about civil rights. You know what I mean? Well, like Don Lemon is he's all in on that shit. He can't stop. And it makes his co-host uncomfortable because she's like, look, it's obviously we're going to push back, but we're supposed to be like, a morning show and you're acting like this just absolute dick. So,
I mean, yeah. what I describe woke as. It's basically like a born again Christian, just even more cringier and browbeat you over the head about this shit.
All right. Let me explain. Woke is being awake to, in terms of how Vivek said it. I'm sure there's simpler ways of putting it, but it's being awake to all of these invisible systems of oppression meant to hold certain groups over other groups. And to be woke would be to want to flip those groups on their head to raise up the people that have been oppressed, okay? Because again, everything comes down to systems of oppressed versus oppressor, and they will do anything they can to shift it. It doesn't matter what or how they go about doing that either. And they're inherently picking and choosing who is right and who is wrong based solely on immutable characteristics. That anytime you say something's woke, man, that would kind of fit into that category. Okay, like
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying like the practical behavioral definition is that of a born again Christian.
No, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. But they're picking who is right and who is wrong based on immutable characteristics, and that to me is every single reason why they have to be opposed. Well, yeah, look, it's the whole thing about critical race theory. Dude,
Gender
critical race
studies.
Hold on. Critical race theory is a subsect of critical theory. That's it. It all comes down to oppressed versus oppressor. In critical race theory, they cite Karl Marx's critical theory. They talk about Marx. They say Karl Marx did not understand how important race was in America. Their entire thing is about using Marxist ideology, but applying it to race instead of class. So when you do that, like you're doing like some horrific evil shit. And it's like they don't comprehend, they don't understand, they think that they're doing the right thing, even as things get worse around them.
Well, I mean, what Vivek said about
Hold
how
on.
they want
to look over Ty wrote. Hitler was black. The Jews just portrayed him as white. Get woke. God damn. Sorry.
What Vivek said was right about how they want to overthrow oppressing systems, except for the most oppressing system, which is taxes.
Oh, yeah.
They want to utilize that like no other.
Well, because that's their bread and butter. That's where they are going to be fine. They want to collect as much as they can off the backs of other people. There's no getting around that. As long as you can tax somebody, they'll find a way to keep taxing people, and they'll lie to them about why they're being taxed the way that they're being taxed. Do I think that there's any solution to it? No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not whatsoever.
Rogue Thought actually brought up that point. It's like woke doesn't have a redemption path for those with the sins of the father in their history. At least born again zealots have that. I agree, but just the behavior of certain groups, like the energy behind it, is similar. Is all I was saying. Like it could be used as a behavioral definition.
Oh, I agree. I agree. You could define it in many ways, because I think it encompasses a lot more than people really acknowledge. But yeah, no, the people that push for it are deranged, they're mean, they're nasty. Like look at somebody like oh gosh, what's that one idiot? Ibram X. Kennedy. He goes like, the only solution for past discrimination is future discrimination. I'm like, stop, you little fucking jackass. Basically what you're saying is, in the past, those people were discriminated against, meaning you weren't, you're not suffering. And what will solve it is if you get to discriminate against other people who didn't discriminate in the past.
So he's of the same mindset as that governor in Alabama who didn't want blacks mixed in white schools. Segregation now, segregation then, segregation forever.
Yeah, literally. Dude, literally that. Literally fucking that. But what do you, like, honestly, what do you do? What do you honestly do when these are the people that you're up against?
Take them out before they take you out. This is the only solution I could think of.
See, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's no winning here. There's no
negotiation.
There isn't, though. There really isn't. People don't want to come together and find a solution. They want the conflict. They want the fight. They want to be the ones who win, declare victory because they're righteous. They want people to say their name for years to come, remembering how great and awesome and wonderful they really were. It's vain, it's childish, and it's never going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue Thought there also says fight racism with racism, fight sexism with sexism. I mean, that's all based off the idea of fight fire with fire, except you're talking about ideas and behaviors, not an actual thing that could actually be extinguished or put out or choked out by the same thing. Because, when you have a fire, you could start a second fire and you could rob that first fire of oxygen.
These all sound like terrible things to actually try, but I could see somebody actually trying to do them.
Well, I mean, you've seen it with the left, mansplaining and all the other bullshit that they pull out of their ass.
Oh, the mansplaining thing is the one that really annoys me. But yeah, no. So this is the statement by Don Lemon. I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. Oh my God. Yes. Gigi, what do you think those larger issues at play are that he is alluding to?
One, he's a punk ass bitch, and two, it's probably Ted Turner.
He's a punk ass bitch and possibly Ted Turner.
Yeah, do you know what punk ass bitch means in black?
Yes.
That's why.
I can't believe you went there on this stream, which is meant to be polite and wholesome. I am disappointed in you. I am so disappointed.
Well, I mean, you call a spade a spade.
So much disappointment. So much disappointment. How could you, Gigi? We trusted you. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to defeat the Sith, not join them.
I ain't no Anakin.
Oh my God! Fuck Don Lemon. I'm glad he's gone. Well, that's the thing. Here's because unlike with Tucker Carlson, Don Lemon is dependent on a network for him to be relevant. Without it, he has less than nothing. But Tucker Carlson is not suffering that same fate. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because Tucker Carlson is actually an individual, not a bot.
You're right.
He's not programmable.
You're right.
Unlike Don Lemon, he has shaken his chains. He has broken them.
But
he serves no master.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's going to affect Tucker Carlson too. Like, there's no denying it. It will affect Tucker Carlson. But at the same time, it's destroying Don Lemon. Like, it crushes him. It makes him weak. Oh, it makes him so very weak. So what does a guy like Don Lemon do? He whines, he gets mad, he gets angry, he blames other people. There's no accountability whatsoever. There's no realizing, hey, the reason why I'm in this situation is because of me. I did it to myself. I shouldn't have done that. That was really dumb. I'm Don Lemon and I'm a fucking asshole. But no, he blames other people, and even there, he's like, "Oh, there are clearly bigger things going on at this network." Like what? You're going to imply that you were being mistreated now, that you weren't shown proper and adequate due respect or whatever. It's like, dude, the reason why this happened is because you're a dick, and you treat people like garbage because you think you're better than them.
Well, I mean, Dr. Scratch and Sniff over there can keep crying for all I care.
Dr. Scratch and Sniff?
Yeah, he puts his hand down his pants and asks people to sniff.
Yeah, you're obsessed with that story.
Dude, it's funny. I'm never not gonna find it
story.
funny.
You're obsessed with that story. You're such a Don Lemon hater phobe. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me just ask you a question. Do you hate Don Lemon more for being gay or for being black?
I hate him for just asking people to sniff his finger when he put it down his pants.
You're obsessed with this, so you can't let it go. You're completely obsessed with it. It's a little unhinged, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little unhinged, I am not gonna lie.
Trust me, it's probably a better thing to be remembered as the pervert who asked you to sniff his finger than the whiny bitch from CNN.
You were obsessed with the fucking finger. Do you want to sniff his finger? John reach his hands down his pants and then you get to sniff it. Is that what's going on here? Because you keep bringing it up. I've tried to move on like 10 times. You're like, oh, but then he like fucking put his fingers down his pants and like jerked himself off a bit and someone sniffed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, all right, we're done. We're moving on. You can't be an adult. So we have to move on. Mr. Scratch and Sniff. Okay. Well, we talked about the Tucker Carlson one. Let's talk about the last thing then, which is Steven Crowder.
Lemon finger.
Lemon finger. Oh no.
From Maybelline.
No, you guys are awful.
Yeah, Maybelline's making crotch cologne. I'm sorry, Crow.
Oh no, you're good. It's funny. But also you're bad. You're very bad.
I'm a bad influence.
You are. Why? What happened? What happened to you, man? You used to be good. You used to be cool. What happened?
I turned to the joke side.
That wasn't funny.
I know.
The first one was more funny. That you were phoning it in there. Try again. Let's tell another joke. How many people? Oh wait, no, I can't say that. I was gonna make a whole joke about ovens, and then I realized how bad that was gonna go. Let's move on.
How many people could you feed a turkey?
No, shut up. Okay, but seriously, what do you think of the whole situation going on with Steven Crowder and Dave Lando, or do you know anything about it?
I've picked up bits and pieces. As far as I can tell, it sounds like Steven's full of shit.
Okay, did you have any thoughts on the whole Daily Wire situation that was going down, or no?
That one I didn't pay much attention to, other than just like the outtakes that Crowder was showing, because I was still like heavily watching his stuff. And it seemed like Daily Wire wasn't being completely upfront. And then we had your show, and then you explained it to me like in full, like what was going on behind the scenes.
Ah, good. I poisoned the well. All right, so when it comes down to it, in the Daily Wire situation, it was a contract, okay? It wasn't even a contract. It was like a draft, or I forget the name of it. It's been so long, and by that I mean it's been 2 months. It was a rough draft. It was not meant as an actual contract for him to sign off on. He was supposed to mark off the things in that he didn't like, send it back over to them, and they expected him to negotiate from there. He didn't do that. Instead, he threw a temper tantrum, threw a hissy fit, recorded a conversation that was supposed to be made in private, and then played it to make the other dude sound like a fucking monster. And it's like, it didn't even do that. That's the problem. It really didn't. You just had Crowder fangirls just eating his ass, and it was disgusting. Well, I was saying he hasn't actually helped anyone grow. Like, Quarter Black Garrett is the only one people can actually reference. And it's like, he's never actually been on the show when Crowder has been there since leaving. And I get that people are like, well, you know, he did kind of like promote and everything. I'm like, okay, let's be honest. He didn't. He really doesn't. He doesn't give a shit about these people. It's like with every other person that's been on Crowder's show, they've disappeared off into the wind. And then you have this Dave Landau guy come out, and he's telling people, like, look, Crowder is a diva. He's hard to work with. But also, you know, he put in my contract if I was 5 minutes late that he wasn't going to pay me and I had to go home. He installed a special light that he would push in order to get me to shut up during the show because he didn't want to be upstaged. Okay, well, that's him being a diva. But then it's like, oh, also, I'm a fucking stand-up comedian. And look, I love comedy shows. Stand-up comedians perform on the weekend. Crowder has it in his contract. He's only allowed to travel one weekend out of the month. Even though there's no Louder with Crowder on the weekend. So he's hitting this guy's income in this like really fucked up way. I guess he wanted him to like host a show or something, but wasn't going to pay him extra to actually do it. So he wanted him to work for free on it. And it's like, stuff like that doesn't make Steven Crowder sound like a kind of guy who actually does care about the people that work underneath him. Like, he does actually care about making sure that they're self-sufficient and helping them grow and build up their own brand. So, like, I'll say this. If you watch the earlier shows with Dave Landau on Louder with Crowder, because I've watched the Louder with Crowder show for a bit. I find it entertaining now and then. Not all the time, but like maybe like twice a week I'll tune in and I'd watch a show before the Rumble stuff. Dave Landau, when he first joined, was substantially funnier and far more charismatic. Towards the end, he's just there. It's not as funny. It's not as good.
Yeah, I could tell that too.
So it's like when he's saying, hey, the reason why is because Crowder was telling me I wasn't allowed to upstage him, so he put a special light on, so I had to shut up. Hey, I had people on the show telling me that if I was going to have a back and forth conversation with Steven Crowder, I always had to let him get in the last word. And it's like, that just makes Crowder sound insecure. That makes him sound like he's incredibly insecure. So that's why I said I didn't believe this idea that he suddenly gave a shit about other people when he's never given a shit about any of these people in the past. It was all a giant fucking grift because at the end of the day, he was starting off on his own fucking venture. He wasn't getting the deal with Daily Wire, and he figured out a way to really just drive the fucking hammer against them, talk about how it was their reputation that was bad, how they were the ones who wanted to shut down being a conservative, or whatever. The guy was such a dishonest prick about it. And to me, I look at it and go, it is annoying. It is annoying. It absolutely is annoying. Because I'm sitting there going, whoa. Why are you saying these things? Why are you doing these things? What is the purpose of all of this? And it's like, oh, well, you know, he's striking out on his own, and he's trying to grow his subscriber list. And that makes sense to me because, look, at the end of the day, I can understand why you would 100% want to make sure that you are safe and secure first. That's like, come on. You went after your friends at Daily Wire, and these were his friends, okay? These were people he knew for a very long time that he had always been good with, and that had always taken care of him. Like, Shapiro was his first lawyer that actually helped him negotiate a contract. So obviously they used to be on really good terms. And then it turns into, oh, these are fake conservatives. And look, they're attacking me. I never say I cared about the money. Only they care about the money because they're greedy conservatives. It's like, See, I'm not like completely brain damaged, and I know what you're doing.
Well, I've got two things here about all this. One, Ty, I gotta ask, is that the one where he dressed up as Che Guevara at the college? Where he was on stage with Christina Hoff Sommers and Milo? Because I think I know the one you're talking about. And Crow, this is number 2. But do you think now what you know about Steven kind of paints him in the same light as Ethan Klein when they had their beef?
Yes. Oh, dude, absolutely.
Because that's been like rooting around in the back of my head after I watched that Michael Malice interview with Dave Landau.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I know what you're gonna say. I completely agree.
Because I really hate to think that about Steven. Like, I mean, I like his stuff on his show and whatnot, but
well, that's the thing. Like, if I like somebody, right, I expect them to be better than the next person, or why the fuck would I like them? Crowder knows exactly what he is doing. He knows what he is saying. He knew what he was pulling, and he did it anyways because at the end of the day, it mattered more to him that he build up his audience, and he showed that he was the real conservative. He was the real guy. They're all fakers. Follow me, everybody. Like, yeah, I can see through that shit. That's not difficult to see through either. Yeah, like, if you want to get duped by it, then get duped. But like, don't like look at other people and act like they're fucking crazy for calling it out.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like his comedy bits go, like the bits that he does for Mud Club and whatnot, those are pretty funny. Like the music videos. You've seen the one where it's like he's dressed up as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They call me Dr. Trump. The Kiss song, Dr. Love. That's kind of what got me into watching Crowder, because I thought it was pretty funny that he'd be willing to debase himself like that. You don't see a lot of creators do that kind of shit.
No, that's definitely true. But at the end of the day, see, I see that going on. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's nice, it's funny and everything. But at the end of the day, he should know that what he's doing is wrong. He knows he's lying. He just doesn't care. Because at the end of the day, you know, sure, yeah, he's lying. Okay, and big whoop. He's going to keep on lying. He's going to keep on lying. He's going to keep putting himself first. And it makes sense to me that he would be that way. Because most people are that way. But, you know, if you're going to act like that, I just find it fucking bizarre that you would ever try to pretend that you weren't just as bad as everyone else. And he tried to pretend like he had some like strong moral standing, and he didn't. Like, he just flat out doesn't. He doesn't give a shit. I don't know, man. I think it's so clear he was lying from the fucking start. I think anyone who fell for it, I get it. I really do. But, you know, if you did fall for it, it would just be incredibly pathetic to fall for it and then still pretend like Steven Crowder isn't a dishonest fucking douchebag.
I mean, this is just sad at the end of the day. Because Crowder did give the performance, or he did perform as if he was like one of the last bastions. But again, performance is just an act. So,
well, the thing is, he probably does actually feel that way. It's just, man, how are you gonna like look at all the other like heinous shit you're doing, and like that to me doesn't matter.
So are you saying he's like Vegeta from Team 4-Star? I am the hype.
Oh, in a way, yeah, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just not over the top.
Oh, definitely not over the top. All right. I'm like falling asleep here, so I'm gonna have to end the stream early. Oh no, right. I had a long drive yesterday. So, anyways, guys, appreciate you, Mom. Well, I will admit, Matt Walsh and that Michael Knowles guy, but specifically Matt Walsh, seems to be less plasticky than Crowder. Like Crowder's giving me the plastic feel now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's coming off as disingenuous and fake.
Has he even responded to what Dave Landau said?
Oh, I don't think he did. I don't think he should. Like, what are you going to say?
I wonder if he's learned from the Daily Wire incident.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
you know what I just realized? Vic never showed up, and I wanted to do the Pokemon battle with him.
Oh man.
I know, and I'm so tired, and I probably shouldn't have even brought it up, but at the same time, I wanted to do it.
Anyway, since your mother's here, Mama Crow, start spanking Dean.
Hey, don't. Hey, no, listen to me. Don't ever say that.
Okay, sorry.
Nah, that's good, but she doesn't want to be involved in any of this shit.
All right.
Thank you, Mama Crow. Sorry, Gigi Evans is he doesn't know what he doesn't know the
I'm a bit slap happy tonight.
Yeah, she's they're dealing with enough. Do you feel bad? Do you feel bad? If you feel bad, Mama Crow will forgive you.
My apologies, Mama Crow. What does I am Switzerland mean?
It means she's completely neutral.
Oh. I thought that was Sweden.
No, it's Switzerland. I guess the Swedish too.
Yeah, because didn't Nazis flee to Sweden as well?
Yes,
or did they invade Sweden?
Well, I thought
no, wait, that was the Russians. That was the Russians that were fighting the Winter War.
I'm too high, and I'm misremembering the histories and everything. You did this to me, Gigi. You did this to me. It's all Gigi's fault. It's all Gigi's fault. It's all. All right. We're done. We're going to bed. Good night, everybody.
Later, guys.
Later. I forgot to buy